Hey everyone, my name's Justin. I'm the CEO here at Trellis, and I'm excited that you're watching this case study today. We have Amy Kim, Senior Special Events Marketing Specialist at the City of Surrey, and we're talking about their big gala that they had in Surrey. And before I get too far, Amy, would you like to introduce yourself, more about your role and your cause?
My name's Amy Kim. I work at the City of Surrey on the special events team, and we host and produce the city's signature events, including the mayor's annual gala, which raises money for the Surrey Firefighters Charitable Society and specifically their nutritional snack programs for youth.
Amy, could you tell me what were you using before Trellis to do your mayor's gala?
We were using a platform called Givergy.
And what was that experience like?
Overall, it was fine. It was mainly that I had issues with customizing tickets, specifically for sponsors, which are events for the gala specifically is very sponsor driven. So we want to curate that experience as seamlessly as possible for those sponsors as they're contributing a lot of value to the event. Another component was that it is an international company. So the service was a little bit more delayed, I think due to time changes and things like that. So we were looking for something a bit more local and could actually put a face to a company.
That's great to hear. And so you kind of started touching on why you picked Trellis. So you were looking for maybe a different option that was local, something that could customize the tickets and sponsors. Anything else on that list, or was that mostly it?
Those were the main reasons.
So then you started looking into Trellis. What kind of stood out to you?
The local component really stood out to me, which was what we were looking for, was a company where you could see who owned it and who ran it. Well, it had come to us because one of our partner organizations, Delta Firefighters Charitable Society, also used Trellis and had very good positive feedback about their experience. So that's why we went to choose Trellis.
Awesome. I love it. I didn't know there were so many firefighter groups, to be honest. So it's been really cool to grow in that space.
Yeah, for sure.
And then when you started using Trellis leading up to the event planning, how did it go? What were things that stood out for you?
I think what stood out was I didn't really face any issues and the solutions I were looking for were always there. And my main point of contact, I think her name is Rebecca, was always very responsive and provided all the answers that I needed when I needed them. I think what stood out was that nothing bad stood out.
There you go. It worked, right? We got out of the way, which is, I think, is what needs to happen at an event, right? I think if technology is becoming an issue, honestly, on either side, like it's just taking over the event in a good way or a bad way, that's not good. You just want it to be not an issue, as you said, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Well, and when you were hinting on it, when you always had that answer, I know that it's not always Rebecca saying, here's the exact answer. It was probably help desk articles and things like that. How did you find that experience working with all the different resources?
Yeah, I felt like there was a lot of resources online, and that's typically where Rebecca would redirect me to and say like, oh, this exact question you have, there's an answer for it on our website. Just take a quick look. And I found that the steps are really easy to follow because sometimes I find like help articles don't actually help solve the problem. But it seems like the way I read it is like someone actually faced this issue and then wrote it in a way where someone who was facing the same issue could solve it step by step by step, which was really helpful. And I really appreciated the screenshots of everything. So that made it really easy to know where I was in the process of trying to get through it.
Amazing. Yeah, I really appreciate you highlighting that because some people are still afraid of help desk articles, things like that. But honestly, we could take the time to answer your question, but it's the 56th time we've got the question. And so instead we create those articles and we really catalog every question we get. And once it hits a certain point, we make a really robust screenshots, videos, step by step, so that it's honestly better than us personally answering it or even getting on a call.
Yeah.
Because it's right there. So thank you for highlighting that. We've worked really hard on that piece, so it's good. And I'm glad that you took the plunge and risked to click that help desk article link. They are there for a reason. So I'm just trying to now go to the event. So there's the event day. People are checking in. They're doing all their giving. I noticed you had a lot of great silent auction items. You had some donation opportunities. Tell me about your event and how Trellis helped.
I think the main piece that really helped was the registration and check-in process. Some other platforms that I've used really complicate it and put barriers in for when someone's coming up to check in for an event that they're attending. And a lot of the time our galas have sponsors and VIP that are coming. So we just want to make sure that they have the most seamless experience throughout the entire event. And that starts with the check-in process. So I really appreciated how it was simply just finding someone's name, checking them in. The option is there to put their information in if they hadn't updated it already, but you could bypass that as well, which really helped with guests who may not be donating and they're just there for the experience of the event. So yeah, I think that was like the biggest thing for us was the check-in process was super seamless, had no issues there. And then the silent auction website worked really well too. We just had a couple iPads that had the website on there. Yeah.
Great. And with that check-in, we don't have card readers. We don't provide you with hardware like some other platforms do. And yet you love the check-in experience. And we're hearing this a lot because this is the future and where everyone's going. Can you talk to me, and just for the people that are considering Trellis that have maybe used card readers or hardware for the past 10 years, how do they make the jump here and why was it so much better?
By hardware, do you mean like the company providing tablets or iPads or something?
Yeah, and some companies even provide like swipers so they can swipe a credit card and things like of that nature, or even like a POS system, right? So you have the full thing to scan and tap credit cards in person. As you can imagine, adds like a lot of cost. It adds a lot of complexity and training versus, you know, what the check-in experience was like for you. So I'd love to kind of hear a little bit more of that.
Yeah. What I really liked was that it is browser friendly. You can just look up a website and pull it up on any device. So like we had laptop, iPad, phone. So I really appreciated that it was responsive to anything, I guess, and that we could provide our own hardware because we had paid a lot of money in past events when we used different platforms to use their tablets or other hardware provided. And I feel like people just know nowadays that you can just input your information into a phone or website, your credit card information, and you can make transactions that way. So we're kind of just, as a society, moving towards that way. So I don't really feel the need for all this luggage, basically.
Yeah. And now a lot of our prospects would say something like, oh, well, our donors are older, but I have a feeling your donors were probably the same demographic as everyone else's. They were older.
Yeah, and a lot of them who were donating had already inputted their information before, so it was easy once event day came around.
Yeah, and because your silent auction was so attractive and well done, and I'm assuming you launched it in advance, people have to put their credit card in advance. So then their credit card information is already in, and if they bought a ticket, their credit card information is in, and then you said for the people that didn't want to or do it, sometimes they didn't want to be giving it the evening, so you didn't put it in, and it really wasn't that big friction point is what I'm hearing at check-in.
Exactly, yeah. Because, yeah, we have a lot of sponsors that sponsor the event, but they also bring guests who will just be attending to enjoy it.
And did you enable pledge mode by any chance for those people that maybe decided in the moment, oh, I actually do want to buy, so they could just pledge? They didn't have to go through putting all their information in?
We actually didn't, because our gala was a shortened format this year. It was more of a cocktail reception and only 3 hours long, so we didn't think I would have our best bang for a buck to use that time.
And sorry, I guess I meant there is a place where then when they do scan a QR code to do something, if we don't recognize them on Trellis, then we can just get their information. So not like a paddle raise, but just if there was anything else they wanted to do, like a donation or anything.
We did have QR codes to the website throughout the event.
Great.
I'm sure anyone used the actual like straight donation on the website. We did have that feature active on the website though.
That's a good note though, right? Like if you do want to drive those donations, you do, not this time, but you do have to kind of have the moment where you ask people to do it, or else they'll just go to the silent auction. So some good learning there. And just a couple more questions if you don't mind. So one is, if someone's considering another city doing another mayor's gala, like we see a lot of different cities do this, and they're considering using Trellis, what would you tell them?
I'd tell them that I've used a lot of platforms, and I would say Trellis for a fundraising platform is one of the most user-friendly and intuitive that I've used, which makes the ticketing process so much easier. I find that a lot of other platforms aren't as user-friendly or put a lot of unnecessary steps to slow down the process, I guess, or from the other clients end, make it not user-friendly or intuitive. So if you're starting a new event or you're transitioning from maybe manual ticketing, like literally by email or something, to now wanting to try a platform, I would say Trellis is a good platform to start with because of its user-friendly.
Amazing. That's so great to hear. And is there anything that you do as an event planner that's been doing this for a while? Like I see all the events behind you. Like what's maybe one unique thing or a tip or trick that you have that you think other people like you could maybe give a shot to improve their events?
It's a hard question.
It's a big one. I know. No pressure.
Well, specifically for the Mayor's Gala, which is different from a lot of our other events, the Mayor's Gala is kind of a specific event for the mayor's office, obviously, whereas our other events are large public events and festivals. So I don't think there's a big commonality between the two. But specifically for the Mayor's Gala, I would say what we did this year was get a beneficiary to speak on stage. If your company is able to find someone who's comfortable doing that, I think it really showed the attendees why they're there and the importance of this event and what value they're putting back into the community.
Amazing. Yeah. Getting that beneficiary there. We're all here for a reason. Yes, we want to have fun and meet people and, dance or whatever happens at the gala, your event, but they're there because of the why at the end of the day. And for you to showcase that and have a beneficiary is awesome. Well, thank you so much, Amy. Good luck with the rest of your events this year. And I hope you enjoy it. And we look forward to seeing you again on the platform soon.